Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from the Valley, San Antonio's second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are fired up and ready for a Saturday. Oh, I'm looking forward to getting some crazy responses to this video today. You know, I love being controversial. There's nothing more boring to me than blending in and conforming. So one of the things I hope those of you that follow my videos appreciate about Brother Collins is this. I am authentic, I am real, I am legit. I have nothing to hide. I joked with my kids at one time. I said, you know, the difference between a hypocrite and a screw-up is that the screw-up recognizes that they make mistakes, okay? And they're on a path to live a certain way. A hypocrite says, I don't do that, and then they do it. Or they say, I would never do that, and then they do it. That's a hypocrite. Screw-up is, I freaking screwed up. Dadgummit! I need to fix that, man. I need to do that again. So how do you say bye-bye to alcohol? I figured I would share a little journey with you because I'm actually very excited about this, and I was having these thoughts to myself while I was picking up ice and other things for the boys' football game today. And it was simply this. Thursday was the day I made a decision that I was not going to drink alcohol anymore. And there's a really interesting reason behind it. I thought that that might be something that could be a blessing or a journey to somebody who's ever thought about it. Now, I know all you mamas with lots of kids and all you daddies with lots of kids who go home and bust open a bottle of wine. Don't judge me, please, because this is about my journey, my deal, not yours. And it could be an inspiration to somebody. So I'm going to tell you how it happened. I am a Zig Ziglar Legacy Certified Coach and Trainer, which means that I don't have a certificate that I paid for so that I could be identified with Mr. Ziglar. It's an unbelievably rigorous process that requires connecting with and looking into the eyes of his children and Miss Majors who served him for almost 40 years so that they understand you have the heart that he had to not only help people succeed, but to help people live the biggest lives possible. And he just happened to recognize in a very subtle way and be able to communicate in a very non-offensive way that without God, it's not going to happen. That being said, I have what's called a Ziglar Performance Planner. It's like a goals calendar. And Mr. Ziglar put a lot of work and a lot of effort into developing this to help someone reach their peak performance. And on the flight back from LA, I made the decision I was going to go over every word, every detail, every part of what he wrote so that I could maximize this calendar to the best of my ability, because I knew it would probably take me a good 2 hours to really go through it. Because guys, see, I don't read stuff just to read stuff. I read stuff to apply it. I read and study and learn so that I can put it to immediate action. So there's a lot of energy mentally that goes into me researching, because I'm not researching for knowledge. Because guess what? Sorry, knowledge is not power. Sorry. Knowledge is potential power. It's only power if you put it into practice and put that stuff to work. And when I read and when I study and when I grow and when I learn, it's so that I can put it to immediate practice, so that I can be a blessing to help others put things like that to immediate practice. That being said, there I am in the Congo on the plane reading the Ziglar Performance Planner. And there's a section in there that says, now read this every week at the end of your week. And they're affirmations and declarations of who you are and who you can be and what you were created and intended to be. Very powerful affirmations. And one of them said, I will rid myself from all poison, to include alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. And a light went off in my spirit, and I said, poison. Poison. Sorry about that, man. Just went old school on y'all. It said poison. And I went, poison? Mr. Ziglar, my mentor, the man whom I adore and who I can only hope to emulate, calls this poison? Freaking, I don't want poison in my body. And then it hit me. A flood of thoughts began to just crowd my mind with things I had heard forever and ever. It's Miller time. What does that mean? Well, exactly what the advertisers want you to think it means you've worked hard, you've worked long, you deserve it. Grab yourself a beer. Red wine just goes better with the steaks, because they just cause each other to really enhance the flavors. Who told me that crap? Where did I hear all that? I never questioned those things. I never dug into those to say, that's not freaking true. Some of the best steaks I ever had, I had water, and they were amazing. If the wine's kind of, so what I'm saying is, I never questioned those beliefs. I never questioned that advertising. I never questioned that marketing. It is what it is. And by the way, it occurred to me, in all sincerity, and please be my friend and stay my friend, the times that I would drink and really want to wasn't really because I was looking for flavor, y'all. I was looking for a little edge to deal with my 713 million children at home and pressure and stress, and realized this ain't good, y'all. And it occurred to me, Mr. Ziglar said, say this every week, I will rid myself of the poisons, to include alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. And in that moment, I said to myself, self, guess what? You don't put poison in your body. Collins, your body's your machine. You work so hard on your body. You work so hard to keep it in good shape and to be in good condition and to be able to use your body day in, day out, to take care of your kids, take care of your family. Guys, I put a lot of work into my body simply because it's the only place I've got to live. And, I want it to last for a minute. I need it to last for a real long time. And yet, according to my hero, I was putting poison in it. So I made a decision that day. I said, I'm not putting any more poison in my body. I'm not going to do it. Now, here's where I hope to help you. When you have a habit, habits can really be hard to break, especially if these habits involve or include the release of chemicals in your cells and in your body. Just like thoughts actually produce chemicals, and when someone thinks a certain way and someone goes down a path for years and years, it is scientifically, neurological science proves that what happens is that when endorphins or those dopamines are released, that when those dopamines or endorphins are released enough and they get into your cells can begin to crave them. So this is why you see so much political rage, and you see people, don't talk politics, don't talk religion, don't talk about that stuff. It's because it's like taking a bottle of Jack Daniels away from an alcoholic, because when someone has thought a certain way for so many years, to break those patterns and rob the body of those chemicals which make them feel comfort and say, well, my mama was a Democrat, my daddy was a Democrat, we all Democrats, or Republicans, or whatever, or Catholic, or whatever. That is a strong bond. That is a stronghold of thinking. And to remove that or change that or challenge it does not release those chemicals. And it's the same thing. If someone's used to having a drink a day or a drink every couple of days, something like that could happen. And I found myself in habit. So we went to go get sushi last night, and sake bombs are just cool. And I was just like, whoa, I don't want that. I don't even have a desire for that. And I am Steve Collins, not you, Steve Collins. I am calling it poison, okay, because Mr. Ziglar called it poison. And if I am to emulate my hero and his message, then I intend to possess and develop his habits, beliefs, and mindset. Therefore, when he said in his planner, I will rid myself of poison such as alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes, he didn't smoke. I don't think he was doing drugs or anything like that. That was the way he believed. And if I'm going to be in line with that, Jesus said, no student can be greater than his teacher. He can only hope to be like him one day. Which is why people like Hank Avink, my boy, Wayne, all these men that I love and respect are living what they preach. They are growing in areas that they want to take their clients up to. We are committed to our own personal growth and development because we know, as John Maxwell talks about in the Law of the Lid, if you're a 5 leader, you're only going to be able to take people up to a 4, maybe a 5. So you work on that leadership, you work on your skill set, you work on yourself harder than anybody else will expect of you so that you can take others higher. So I look at what Mr. Ziglar said and I said, he calls it poison. It's fascinating. I worked too hard on my body to put poison in it. So I made a decision that Thursday, I will now identify alcohol as poison. For Steve Collins. I'm not saying this is for you, this is for anybody. I'm saying for me, that is poison. And yet the habit came up. When I went to get a steak the other night, I was like, what do you have by way of a red blend? Oh my Lord, really? I said, no, just bring me some water. Holy moly. I said, hold on a second. Iced tea. Do you guys got any flavored tea? And they said, we got raspberry tea. I said, that sounds good. I drank it, and the thought I had was, this tastes so much better than red blend. This is crazy. There's so much delicious stuff. So I am on this journey of choosing not to put poison in my body because I want and intend to emulate the one whose name I am identifying with as I go out into the marketplace in terms of coaching and training and consulting and speaking. So I am changing the way I think about it. I'm looking at it as poison. I'm looking at it as poison. And what's really exciting is my son, AJ, has a bet. He was like, ha ha, let's see how that goes, Papa. Because AJ's me, you know, he's the remix. This is the original. So what's sad is it's not even a challenge because I've changed my thinking around the subject. Steve Collins does not poison his body. Steve Collins works very hard on his body. Why would I put poison into it? So I'm identifying it as something different, and I'm saying, like I just drove past a whatever they call those things, a liquor store, and I was just like, ooh, poison, 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 poison. Sorry, there I go again, back to the 80s, y'all. I said poison. I am renaming. I am reinterpreting because my brain knows we don't put poison in this machine. So how would you say Buh-bye? I know, I'm sorry, Tina. What happens? You hear that. This stuff is poison. I can't help it sometimes. So how will you say Buh-bye if you ever chose to say Buh-bye? If you ever choose to say Buh-bye to alcohol, ask me about it because I have chosen to for my own reasons. Not because of any other reason other than if I'm truly going to carry this message of Mr. Ziglar to the marketplace the way that I intend to, then the more I emulate his values, by the way, which are my values, he just has a significantly higher standard than the average person. Well, I intend to raise my standard so that I can help those around me raise theirs. Love y'all. Hope y'all have a great weekend.